Hard. I think I'll stop at the end of the season. We still have so much in front of us in what we're doing. Obviously, with now going to compete for a third championship, and then on Wednesday night we're in CONCACAF semifinals. So I think I'll take some time in the off season to think about it. But we've got a lot of football ahead of us, that's for sure. But I'm thoroughly enjoying every single part of it.
At what point do you shift the focus? I mean, has it already happened? Are you already looking towards Wednesday? Is this game in the rearview mirror?
Yeah, obviously the guys are in the locker room. They're enjoying this victory, and the staff is in our war room, and every single tactical board has already been switched over to FC Motagua. As I usually like to do from game to game, we do a quick switch over, make sure before we leave this place we know exactly what we're doing the next day, but making sure that we're all in the same line when it comes to our next opponent. This is going to be a massive match for us. We're playing at home, so I like to go quick into the next opponent.
Thanks, Bobby. Congrats.
Thank you.
Next, we'll go to Charlie O'Connor-Clark. Go ahead, Charlie.
Thanks. Hey, Bobby. Congratulations. Just what ended up making the difference in this match? I know that you were tied at halftime, but you guys had a pretty significant edge in the shots and possession and whatnot.
I think, to be honest, I think we had a brilliant first half. Apart from a little bit of a miscommunication there on York's goal, we're brilliant. We're attacking. The guys took the 3-4 points we gave tactically on the attacking side of things, and they executed. We obviously wanted another goal in that first half. And then on the defensive end, the same thing. And that's the one thing we talk about. There's the principles of play we have, and each game we'll look at, 2 or 3 little tactical nuances that we look at. And I think the guys were spot on. They went out there, they did that. In the second half, we just talked to them at halftime and told them it was a brilliant first half. We had one mishap there, and we just have to keep on doing it. Always, though, respecting our opponent and where they can be good in those transition moments in York. They've shown to do that, and they've shown that they're a resilient team over the year, and you see that in the results with so many ties. So we just told guys to stick to it, be a little bit more bold, be a little bit more forward thinking in the opponent's half, and I think that led to us scoring a couple of goals and also having some fantastic opportunities in the second half.
And maybe just one on Josh Navarro. He's another attacking piece that you guys have managed to get integrated. Just how impressed have you been with his ability to get integrated with the squad and make a difference?
Yeah, he's been excellent. It's like sometimes he's a guy for special missions when it comes to us, both in the CONCACAF League and in the league today. We're missing both Emery Walshman and Moba Booley, who just weren't ready to get out there today. And although this is a semifinal, we still have more games in another competition that's very important for us. But that's the belief we have in the squad. That's the belief we have in the guys like Navarro, and you look at a player also like Rubens Pacius. A lot of people will forget that Rubens joined us late in the season, and before this year, he maybe hasn't played an actual competitive game for over a year. And this is a guy who, and I may be wrong here, has 7 or 8 goals this season. Absolutely brilliant. And then, Navarro's performance right from the beginning, and especially in the second half, he just picked it up, and he was excellent in all the zones we wanted him to be. He was there. He scores that second goal that's very crucial for us, and he's got the header on the third goal. So yeah, absolutely fantastic.
Thanks, Bobby.
Next to Brandon Q. Go ahead, Brandon.
Thanks, Brandon. Hey, Bobby, just congratulations on the win tonight. I want to maybe call back to something that was asked in the match preview about the importance of set pieces in a one match playoff like this one, and obviously with the last goal there, set pieces again came into play. Just maybe a couple of words on that front.
Yeah, it's something we work on throughout the season. It's not something that becomes a special mission in these playoff games and so on, because we know from global football that they play a difference. In major tournament football, and even throughout the season, how many goals are scored from set pieces. So you try and stay within those margins. You try and stay within those percentages. And you look at the last 2 games we've had against York, going back to the last game in the league, we've scored a couple from set pieces there. And it's something that in a moment you can change a game, and you can also hurt an opponent really. And sometimes it's not only the physical and the tactical that goes into it, but it's the mental component. And I think we get that third goal off that set piece, and that deflates York towards the end of the game.
Right. And maybe looking towards now that you've got through the semifinal, I know you're touching on it earlier with the quick turnover to Motagua, but just how do you manage a stint like this where now you're playing on Wednesday at home and then traveling back down south on the first and then coming back up to play that final on the fifth with the two legs sandwiched in between these two CPL playoff games?
Yeah, I think I've said it before. I talk to a lot of people in global football and technical people, and they're amazed at what we're doing. They're amazed at the number of games we've played in a short span and how we keep on going and keeping a good level. So I don't know exactly what it is, but we're going to keep on doing that. And what that is just look at our rotations, try and keep the guys fresh as much as possible from game to game, and just use the momentum. Winning games goes a long way, so you use that momentum and you go. And right now we've got 3 games ahead of us, and the beauty of it is we don't want those to be our last 3 games. We want to make sure that we finish the season with 5 more matches, and that's us trying to advance in CONCACAF League. So the most important thing is you just look at Wednesday. You don't look ahead. Don't look at the other games. Just put the plan in place, put the training plan in place on, how we're going to work with these guys, how we're going to manage their loads, and then just focus one game at a time. And I think that's the one thing we've done with the guys throughout the season. They've reacted very well to it, and we'll keep on that same formula.
Appreciate it, Bobby, and good luck down south.
Thank you.
Next to Steve Milton. Go ahead, Steve.
Hi, Bobby, and congrats. Just the manner in which the game unfolded with that late goal allowed you to do some of the things you've just talked about, which is save a bit of your rotation, right? Is that fair to say that?
Yeah, we would have liked it a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
We got a few guys too coming off the bench that maybe we didn't want to push as well, so we pushed the starting 11 a little bit further into the match. It's also a difficult match sometimes to make those changes. The weather, the rain. This is all difficult in making sure that the players up to speed and coming into the pitch.
Can you tell us, I mean, somebody in your organization, whether probably you as well, has had at least some kind of peek at Motagua. What do you see there?
Yeah, it's an experienced team. When you look at Motagua, they're experienced in all their lines. They're an experienced team in CONCACAF League. They're an experienced team in players, older average age for the most part, especially in their defensive line. And they're a team that can mix it up. They're a team that can be technical, that can play a lot of football, but they're also a team that can be just outright physical on the pitch. And, that's what they bring and they pose in front of us. Wednesday night's important for us up here at Tim Hortons Field, somewhere where, not that we haven't done well in Central America, but, we need to make sure we use that to our advantage. Our fans, the stadium, the pitch, all of that allows us to play our brand of football and focus on ourselves primarily. And that's what we've done through CONCACAF League. Again, we'll stick to our principles. We'll look at those little nuances in the opponent. We've got a great file on looking at them. We'll pick apart what I usually do, those 3-4 little aspects that I want the guys to focus on, and then we go from there.
Yeah, it's been a short but long year at the same time, if that really makes sense. But all I can really say is that I'm just very proud of the guys. We've been performing very, very well. We've been in big games, we keep showing up, and this is just another game to show it. But at the end of the day, we knew that today was just really going to be all about the hard work and the intensity that we put in, because we knew that that's what they were going to bring in. So I'm very, very proud of the guys, and it's another CPL Finals for us. So it's just about focusing on the next one. I say this every single time. We can enjoy it now, but as of tomorrow, we're already looking at the next game, which is going to be CONCACAF, which is big for us. But at the end of the day, it's just we go game by game. Now every game we play is just as important as the next.
All right. Thanks, Tristan. Congrats.
Thank you.
Next to Charlie O'Connor Clark. Go ahead, Charlie.
Thanks. Hey, Tristan, congratulations. Bobby said just now that he thought you guys had a really good first half, and just at halftime he told you guys to kind of stick with it. Just what do you think made the difference today?
I think it was just consistency of press, of being comfortable on the ball, keep doing what we were doing, what we knew, what we had to do to win the game. And at the end of the day, we knew that just football wise, as long as we play well, we'll always have goals, have chances and stuff like that. But when it comes to games like this, when it comes to important games where it's do or die, it's really all about the intensity at the end of the day and the hard work, because every team always, if you're in a game like this, obviously the quality is there, right? So it's just kind of more on who wants it at the end of the day. And I think our team really showed up when time was needed. And again, I've been saying it since the halftime thing, but I'm very, very proud of the guys. We put in another shift, and at the end of the day, we know it's the next game is just as important, right? But it's very good for us to be in another finals, and was something definitely to be proud of.
You guys obviously have another big one coming up in just a few days on Wednesday. How quickly do you guys have to turn the mentality over, turn the focus over? Do you have any time to enjoy this?
Tonight. That's really it. But I mean, we're kind of used to it the whole season, right? The season's been like this. Every 3 games, it's another game, right? So at the end of the day, it's not normal to play such important games in 3 days every single time. But it's been a very, very busy month. But the players have been, total professionals, taking care of their bodies and doing as much as they can to continuously be able to perform as what we did. So it's just about just being a professional and keeping your body as fit as can. And if your name is called, you put in a performance.
To do this again?
It's an amazing feeling. It's kind of a feeling where it's hard to describe unless you're experiencing it. But at the end of the day, I said it also in the first year. In the beginning of the year, you set yourself a goal individually and as a team. And for us, it's just about achieving those goals. And my biggest thing is it's always been like that, and it always will be like that. It's just about winning. At the end of the day, players can always look at individual things, which is important for individual players. But at the end of the day, if you win, that's always the most important thing. Trophies and just having those things to always look back at in memories. And this team that we have is special, just as the first team that we had was special when I was a part of it. But it's been a very difficult year with a lot of games in short periods of time. And I'm very, very proud of the guys, the way we've been performing and against competition. And it's definitely something to be proud of, and it's a special moment. But at the end of the day, it's we have to focus on the next game. Obviously we could be proud on what we've been doing. Of course it is, but at the end of the season, when everything is over with, that's when you can kind of reflect on how the season went as a team and individually. But in the moment, we got to kind of be in the moment and just focus on the next game, because we got a lot of games still in small periods of time, and it's important games. So obviously we're proud of what we just accomplished right now, and obviously a lot of the players we're all going to celebrate just for tonight. But as of tomorrow, we already got another game to look at. So it's definitely something to be proud of, but the job's not finished. So I'm very proud of the guys, and we still have a few games to go.
And now that you have two more trophies on the line, if you could only win one, which one would you choose?
No, I want both. I want both. There's no only one. I want both. That's all I want.
All right. Thank you so much, Tristan, and good luck in CONCACAF League in the final.
Thank you.
And next we'll go to Brandon Q. Go ahead, Brandon.
Thanks, Brandon. Hey, Tristan. Congrats on the win tonight. Just maybe wanted to ask you on especially that first goal, since you had such a good view of it with the assist there. Just maybe speak on Woobens and the season he's had up to this point.
He showed up. He's been showing up. The games he comes in, he scores goals. At the end of the day, he's a striker, and that's his most important attribute to have. And he's been scoring. I mean, that's really all you could say. Obviously, there's certain things where us, like me as a midfielder, I'm proud to see. Right when I look up, I see the movement that he's making, and that's something good as a midfielder to see. And just me, it's just about giving him the opportunity to score, which I did today. I saw the run that he made, and I wanted to give him the opportunity to try to score and help the team out, and that's exactly what he did. So kudos to him, and a great finish and a great game. But him and as an individual, he stepped up to the plate multiple times this year, and I'm sure if his name is called again in the future, right now, he's going to do the same thing. He has a great mentality, and just proud of him so far this year.
And maybe building on that last question about both the CONCACAF League finals, both legs of those, about the CPL final coming up in 2 weeks. And I asked Bobby about this earlier as well, but how do you guys manage that load, knowing that earlier in the season you guys are playing 3, 4, 5 games in 2 weeks, and now you've got a little bit of extra time in between each of these games to sort everything out?
I'm gonna be honest with you, it doesn't really feel like that. It always feels like there's another game in a few days and everything like that, but it's just about ourselves just managing our bodies and just being a professional, taking care of our bodies after the games, and recovery and stuff like that. But all athletes know that it takes a lot of work during season to just consistently stay fit. There's been a lot have asked of us this year, and I think we've showed up. All players have done their best to be available as much as we can. But I mean, as a player, these are the games you want to play, right? So we can always just complain that it's a lot of games in a small period of time, but months ago we didn't even know if we were going to have games, before the season and stuff like that. So at the end of the day, we're just happy to at least prolong our season this much, and to be able to be fighting for championships is really, really important, and that's what we're doing.
For sure. And maybe I will just ask you this very quickly. Has this really sunk in yet, or is this something that'll sink in for you, closer to the end of the season, even after the end of the season?
Yeah, I think at the end of the season, that's when I'll kind of take time and reflect on how the season went individually and as a team. But it's just about going day by day, and we accomplished what we wanted to accomplish up to this point. But I'm gonna keep saying that the job's not finished, right? At the end of the day, it's to win the championship. Okay, we just won a game in the semifinals, but at the end of the day, we want to win the championship. So that's really the most important thing. And we've already created history in our league, in CONCACAF. And for us, it's just, staying positive and going in there and putting another performance in that. So, like I said, these are the games you want to play in, to be playing for something, to be playing for a championship, and especially CONCACAF League, which is big. These are exciting moments right now, for not for me individually, but also as a club. So these are definitely the moments you want to be a part of.
Yeah, the boys are disappointed. Obviously, it's a playoff game. You know what's at stake. You win, you go to the finals. You have opportunities to make it in the CONCACAF. But it was a tough task ahead of us. Obviously, going against the two-time champs away from home. It wasn't meant to be. They had it right. They made it difficult for us, and yeah, it was just a difficult game today.
And maybe the rain had something to do with this, but just how do you guys go into the half knowing that you do have that equalizer, and then knowing that after that early goal went in, there was a bit of defensive regrouping going on there?
Yeah, that goal definitely was a lifeline for us. It gave us that little spark we needed going into the half, and we're gonna try to use that as momentum, trying to go into the second half. We're trying to work out things tactically in order to get more shots on target, because we didn't have many first half, and obviously we had the wind and the rain kind of going with us the second half, but still Borges made it very difficult for us to get anything on target.
Appreciate it, Dom. Thanks for all the time this season, and good luck to whatever the off season entails for you.
Yeah, thank you. Next to Charlie O'Connor-Clark. Go ahead, Charlie.
Thanks. Hey, Dom, I know that's a tough way to end it, but just when you look back at the season as a whole, and your first year with this club, just maybe how do you evaluate in the very immediate aftermath?
Yeah, I mean, looking at the whole season, just immensely proud of the boys. Like you saw, everybody counted us out from the start. Everyone's thinking we're going to finish last. So the whole season was just about proving people wrong. We're probably the youngest team, average age in the CPL. So it was just every single game we're battling for each other, and all the young boys stepping up. A lot of them getting their first pro starts and games in. And over 28 games, we were able to make it into the top four, compete with some of the teams that have done it for a couple of years. So looking back at it over the whole year, immensely proud of the group. And it's still positive to look back on, and we'll just move forward from there.
It looked like you guys had a pretty good group of your fans up there in the corner of this game. I saw you went over and you were sharing a moment with them after. Just what did that mean to you guys?
Yeah, no, you know what? That's what football is about, having the fans out there, and we're super excited to see them up there supporting us, cheering us on. It means a lot for us. So it was great to see them out there.
Yeah, it was a close game. I mean, look, there's no doubt they've got a lot of quality in their side. We try to stay in that game. Obviously Michael coming off with being injured, it changed it a little bit for us. And we brought on Ija. Hopefully, expecting to add a little bit more pace down the flanks. But I thought overall, it was a decent match, but they just had that little bit more quality than what we did over the park.
Just what is it you say to the group after a game and the season ends like that? Just, and how proud are you? Just how far they've come this year?
I'm very proud of them. And after the match, I told them right away. I said, "Look, guys, what you've been through as a group, team how hard the season was to get to the playoffs. It's been a great season for them. Obviously, they're disappointed because they wanted to get to the final, but the good thing is, they've got a taste of it, and especially the young guys, they got a taste of how hard a grueling season can be after 28 games. Then they got a taste of playoffs, so they gained an awful lot of experience throughout this season. And as a group, I couldn't be any more proud of them. And same with the older players. I thought they were such big influences in that dressing room this year. They kept the dressing room tight, and we had a good bunch of players that bought into what we were doing. And I thought it was a very good season for us as a club overall. But obviously, look, it's like everybody. I mean, I'm disappointed. I wanted to get to a final. So did the players. We wanted to win it. But we've got an awful lot to build on. We got some very good quality there, and I think it's just adding the right pieces to make our squad a little bit stronger.
Thanks, Jimmy. I appreciate it.
Thanks.
Next to Brandon Q. Go ahead, Brandon.
Thanks, Brandon. Hey there, Jimmy. Just obviously, sort of same similar sentiment there. With the fact that you guys have had a great season, but just falling short at the final hurdle here. But just maybe in a similar vein, wanted to ask about where you go from here to next season. I know appreciating the fact that not everyone will return as necessitates, but just how does the experience from this season and this whole playoff experience translate not only to the younger guys but also to the older guys there in the locker room?
Oh, I think you take a little bit of time off, and then you have to reassess the squad and look at it. Think what pieces you need that's going to make it stronger. What players you plan on keeping for next season, and there's a lot that will go into it. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of discussions as well behind the scenes of how we want to progress moving forward. But we are moving in the right direction. We've got a great core, and it's just finding those extra pieces that are going to make you even stronger, so that you can compete and get to the final next season.
Perfect. And I know it's been a tough season, I think, for a lot of people, for the league as well, for everyone really, just given the circumstances of the world we're still in. But maybe I guess just with how people were predicting the team we're going to perform at the start of the season, is there just anything that you want to say to them based off of tonight's performance?
No, I don't want to say anything. As pundits and analysts and fans, you're absolutely entitled to your opinion of where you think teams are going to end up, and you can say whatever you like. That at the end of the day, that doesn't affect me. What journalists, reporters say about our team and where they think we're going to end up, but it's us, once we close that door and we're in that dressing room, we're sitting with the players, we've got a job to do as coaches, and it's to get the best out of these players and improve them, and help with their development, and try to provide as much resources as we can to make them successful. And I think myself and the staff, I thought we've done a very good job this year under the situation that we were under and the circumstances. So it was a lot of work behind the scenes, but I'm absolutely delighted and proud of our squad, of how much we fought this season, how much we've improved as the season went on, and to finish where we did in the standings. And obviously, even today, I thought it was a good performance, but we were just missing that little bit extra, that little extra quality that Forge had on the night. And I think next season, if we can add a couple of pieces to make us stronger, those 12 draws that we have, it'd be nice if we can turn half of them into wins by being a little bit more clinical at times. And that changes the whole dynamic and pushes you even further up the table. And I think it makes you even compete even more.